Good afternoon and welcome back after the weekend. As you know, last week I extended our Safer at Home order. This is not an easy decision to make, but as I've said all along, the health and safety of the people of our state comes first. But at the same time, we also know that we have to do everything we can to reopen our state as soon as we can safely and responsibly while recognizing that we will not get back to normal until we have a vaccine. No one wants to reopen our economy as much as I do, but folks, like I've said before, it has to be more like turning a dial than flipping a light switch. And that's why Safer at Home is so important, so that we can continue to make sure our healthcare workers and system aren't overwhelmed while we're taking important steps to be able to turn down that dial safely and sooner. We have heard from workers and businesses across the state about how eager they are to get back to work. We are eager too. This is going to take careful preparation and planning, and that's why today we're announcing our Badger Bounce Back Plan to ensure our state can bounce back from COVID-19. As we've learned over the past month in the most difficult of circumstances, we will rise to the occasion, helping each other and working together to do what's best for our families, our neighbors, and our communities. Now, I'm jazzed and hopeful about this plan. While being safe at home continues to be very important, this plan is an all-out war on the virus, and it begins the process of preparing our businesses and the workforce to begin the important planning that will result in a safe and logical phase-in of our economy. And that's what the Badger Bounce Back is all about, our resilience as a people and as a state. So today we announced an order outlining the phases for our Badger Bounce Back Plan, which outlines important metrics for us to be able to reopen our economy in phases and includes steps to make sure our workers and our businesses are prepared to reopen as soon as it is safe to do so. In order to move beyond the Safer at Home phase, we need to meet some important criteria. The metrics we're using are based in large part on the President's guidelines for opening up America again that was issued by the White House on April 16, 2020. Right now, Wisconsin does not meet the criteria the White House established to start reopening our state. But with our Badger Bounce Back Plan, we're going to be taking some important steps to get us there. First, we need to see a 14-day decline of COVID-19 symptoms reported. Second, we need to see a 14-day decline of positive tests as a percent of total tests. And third, we need to make sure our hospitals can treat all patients and have a robust testing programs in place for at-risk healthcare workers. And finally, as I mentioned last week, we need to increase lab capacity and testing, increase contact tracing, including support for isolation and quarantines, so we can track the spread of COVID-19, increase our healthcare capacity, and procure more personal protective equipment. So as part of our Badger Bounce Back Plan, we're expanding testing criteria and increasing lab capacity. Everyone who needs a test should get a test, and we're setting a goal of 85,000 tests per week, about 12,000 tests per day. Wisconsin started its COVID-19 testing efforts with a small group of dedicated labs, including the State Laboratory of Hygiene, the Milwaukee Public Health Lab, UW Health, Gunderson Lutheran, ACL Laboratories, Mayo Clinic, and Wisconsin Diagnostics Lab. This group helped us build a critical base to grow from, and we owe a special thanks to each of them for getting in on the ground floor. But as we've learned over the past month, there's a lot we can accomplish when we all work together. It's going to be a whole team effort to boost our testing efforts in Wisconsin. Exact Sciences is devoting a significant portion of its lab capacity and resources to COVID-19 test processing. This will enable them to provide the state with approximately 20,000 tests and processing each week, which we will be distributing to healthcare systems throughout the state. This was a major effort by Exact Sciences, undertaken in a very, very short amount of time. Epic is providing crucial assistance in our effort to distribute Exact Sciences tests by providing the interoperability necessary to connect healthcare providers with Exact to ensure timely processing of tests and reporting of test results. Promega is providing major support by sourcing high-demand reagents and materials for a number of labs in the state, including Exact Sciences labs. In addition to these materials, they've also shared equipment and provided invaluable problem-solving skills. They are a critical part of our supply chain and supporting expanded testing. This week, Marshfield Clinic Health Systems will be working on ramping up to process 10,000 tests per week from providers around the state. And through additional procurement efforts by the state, we will be receiving over 250,000 additional test collection supplies in the coming weeks. I want to thank all these folks for their good work in helping us make sure we can increase our testing levels through our Badger Bounce Back program. Additionally, I'm excited to announce that we are deploying National Guard teams to locations across the state to set up testing sites in places where COVID-19 outbreaks and places with community spread. These National Guard teams will set up and administer testing in communities where they are needed most. In fact, their work has already begun with one team at the Milwaukee County House of Correction this weekend. In addition to increasing our testing capacity, we also need to bolster our contact tracing efforts. So our Badger Bounce Back plan also includes an effort to add 1,000 contact tracers to our efforts. Now I need to circle back to my previous comments. In addition to being safer at home, these are historic people power commitments in our 24/7 war against the virus. All of these efforts are critically important to ensuring that we can reopen our economy as soon as we can safely and responsibly can, and to make sure our workers and our businesses are preparing to be open as soon as it is safe. To lead the charge with our business community, WEDC Secretary-Designee Missy Hughes is going to be working with small, medium, and large-sized businesses to help us figure out how to minimize disease transmission in the workplace, identify worker safety protocols, and help ensure customer safety as we move forward as a state to bounce back. I know that these continue to be difficult times, but as always, I know as Wisconsinites, we will rise to the challenge just as we have over the past few months. I want to thank all of you for all the work you're doing to keep our families, our neighbors, and our communities safe by staying safer at home so that our state can bounce back as it always has.